Today we have a list that explores the 10 most remarkable miracles performed by Jesus, each one demonstrating his compassion, power, and unconditional love. 1. Turning water into wine. The story begins at a wedding feast in Cana. Jesus' mother, Mary, notices that the wine has run out, which would be an embarrassment for the hosts. Mary asks Jesus for help, and he, with a generous heart, instructs them to fill the jars with water. As they do, Jesus turns the water into wine, a wine of even higher quality than the first. This was his first public miracle, revealing his glory and leading his disciples to believe in him. 2. Healing the official's son. In Capernaum, a government official desperately seeks Jesus, as his son was gravely ill. He begs Jesus to come to his house and heal his son. Jesus, however, simply says, "Go, your son lives." When the man returns home, he discovers that, at the exact moment Jesus spoke, his son had been healed. This miracle teaches the importance of faith, as the official trusted in Jesus' words even without seeing him act. 3. Healing the paralytic at Bethesda. In Jerusalem, there was a pool called Bethesda, where many sick people waited for a chance to be healed. Jesus finds a man there who had been paralyzed for 38 years. He asks the man if he wants to be healed, then says, "Get up, take your mat and walk." Immediately, the man is healed and able to walk. This miracle shows Jesus' compassion for those who suffer and his power to restore. 4. Feeding the 5,000. When a large crowd gathered to hear Jesus, he noticed they were hungry. A young boy offered 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. Jesus blessed the food and began distributing it. In the end, everyone ate, and 12 baskets of food were left over. This miracle not only satisfied the people's physical hunger, but also showed Jesus' generosity and his ability to provide abundantly. 5. Walking on water. In the midst of a storm on the Sea of Galilee, Jesus' disciples were in a boat, afraid of being swept away by the waves. Suddenly, they saw someone walking on the water toward them, and they realized it was Jesus. He reassured them, saying, "It is I. Do not be afraid." Jesus then invited Peter to walk on the water, showing that, with faith, even the impossible could become reality. 6. Healing a man born blind. In Jerusalem, Jesus encounters a man who had been blind since birth. He spits on the ground, makes clay with his saliva, and applies it to the man's eyes, instructing him to wash in the pool of Siloam. After washing, the man returns with his sight restored. This miracle symbolizes the light Jesus brings to the world, illuminating lives and restoring spiritual vision. 7. Healing the woman with the issue of blood. While walking in a crowd, a woman who had suffered from an issue of blood for 12 years touched Jesus' garment, believing it would heal her. Jesus feels a power go out of him and asks who touched him. Upon discovering her, he says, "Your faith has made you well." Instantly, the woman was healed. This miracle highlights the power of faith in Jesus and his response to sincere desires for healing. 8. The raising of Lazarus. Lazarus, a close friend of Jesus, had been dead for 4 days. When Jesus arrives at the tomb, Lazarus' sisters, Martha and Mary, are devastated. Moved by compassion, Jesus orders the stone to be removed and calls, "Lazarus, come out." Lazarus rises from the dead. This miracle is an awe-inspiring demonstration of Jesus' power over death, pointing to his own resurrection and the promise of eternal life. 9. Healing the 10 lepers. As Jesus entered a village, he encountered 10 lepers who cried out for mercy. Jesus instructed them to go to the priests, as was the tradition to confirm healing. As they went, all of them were healed. However, only one, a Samaritan, returned to thank Jesus, and Jesus said to him, "Rise and go. Your faith has made you well." This miracle reminds us of the importance of gratitude and faith. 10. Calming the storm. During a boat trip with his disciples, a violent storm began to rock the boat. The disciples, fearing for their lives, woke Jesus, who was asleep. He rose, rebuked the wind and the waves, and immediately the storm calmed. The disciples, amazed, asked, "Who is this that even the winds and the sea obey him?" This miracle shows that Jesus has authority over nature, reinforcing the confidence we can have in him even in life's storms. These miracles are deeply symbolic stories of love, power, and hope. Each one reflects a unique aspect of Jesus' ministry, demonstrating that he came to bring healing, peace, and restoration to humanity.